£60 million. £60 million. That's what David Moyes has got to spend in the summer. 60 million. That's a big budget, isn't it? Well, it's not a big budget, it's a big headline. And it was a headline in the report I saw yesterday, and it lured me in. It got me. I thought, okay, let's have a look at this. 60 million sounds alright, let's have a little read. And I started reading the report, and what a load of nonsense. Honestly, I'll tell you what it said. It said at the start, David Moyes didn't spend the 20 million from Sebastian Haller. I thought, okay, we'll take, yeah, correct. Okay, we'll continue reading. 20 million, yeah, okay. We're going to sell Lanzini for 15 million. I thought, maybe, but let's continue. We're going to sell Felipe Anderson for 15 million. I thought, a bit stretching it here, but okay, I'll continue for the sake of it. We're going to take whatever we can get for Andrei Yarmolenko. Well, don't have much option, do we? You'll be lucky if he's fit for medical in the summer, going by the early reports of his injury. But okay, I'll go with it. I can see why Andrei Yarmolenko would be on the out list, but so we're going to raise 40 million from selling these three players. That's when I started to get a little bit, I'm not sure about this, but I'll continue. Add that to Sebastian Haller's 20 million. David Moyes has got 60 million to spend in the summer, plus whatever extra Sullivan gives him. So basically, you have 60 million. Thank God football is that straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. It's becoming more and more like a game of FIFA every single year, according to that report. I know you're thinking, oi, Gio, this video is rubbish. You've tricked me with the title. I have tricked you with the title. But I felt a bit tricked reading the report, so I thought I'm going to trick you guys as well. But what it did do, the report, it made me think, how much do we need to spend in the summer? Not how much will we spend. We've all got our own thoughts about whether Moyes should have spent the money or not, and that's not what I'm here to discuss. He didn't spend it, he's kept it for the summer, which is fine, let's deal with this. But what do we need? How much realistically does David Moyes need to spend? Because let's take the 60 million, the plucked out of the air £60 million figure that they put on this article. That sounds a lot. But then when you start thinking about it, is it? Is it a lot? And I almost persuaded myself it's not that much. Well, it is a lot of money, but it's not enough for what Moyes is going to need to do in the summer. Then I started thinking, well, how much is he going to need? So let's deal with this. And then I've got a video for you on Sunday that's going to be very interactive, so I'll tell you about that at the end. But anyway, the David Moyes thing. So I thought, this squad that we've currently got is low in numbers. It needs additions. We know that. It needs possibly 2 strikers and a centre midfielder. And that's without upgrading. That is just bodies. We need bodies. That's 3 players so far. So 3 players. This squad includes Jesse Lingard and Craig Dawson, who are not our players. Now, Dawson apparently has an option to buy between 2 and 3 million, which I always struggle how people know there's an option to buy, but they don't know the value. But anyway, we'll go with the 3 million thing. So I expect him to be a West Ham player next season, Craig Dawson. His parent club, Watford, they don't look like they're going to get promoted at the minute. We've apparently got an option to buy. I expect Craig Dawson to be a hammer next season. Jesse Lingard, though, a little bit more complicated. We know there's no option to buy. We know he will be returning to Manchester United this summer. Doesn't mean he'll ever play for them again, but he's going back to Man United in terms of paperwork. And you'd expect West Ham, should his performances be good, we want to sign him permanently. He's been touted at around 10 to 15 million, which I think is fair, given he'll only have a year to go on his contract at Old Trafford. He's not got a future at Old Trafford, so he's going to have to move away. And you expect if he enjoys his time here, plays well, will be the front runners for the signature. And I would expect him to be signed up pretty much within 2 days of the season finishing, should his performances all go well. So let's say 15 million, right, for Lingard and Craig Dawson. Not a lot of money, but it's 15 million to keep the squad the same. We are not improving the squad. This squad to next season is 15 million to not move forward. We've got a couple of other issues as well. Currently, Lukasz Fabianski's contract expires in the summer. Now, I expect him to sign a new one, and I think he will. I think the probability is Fabianski will also be a hammer. So let's ignore the goalkeeper thing. Fabian Balbuena, though, there's a lot less talk about him getting a new contract. I would say that's about 50-50 at the minute. I hope he gets one. I really want to see him sign a new contract. I'm surprised we've not got it tied up. But I would suggest it's about 50-50 just now. So there's possibly a senior centre-back on the way out the door. And then we come to the other man. This man. I watched his interview yesterday. It was from after the Manchester United game in the FA Cup. And he's hinting at retiring. He said something along the lines of, like, no, I've not got much time left. I'm 34 in May. And he said, I don't know if I'll be here next year. There's something along that lines. I can't remember what he said. But basically said, I don't know if I will be a West Ham player next season. And it's a bit worrying in the sense that, well, I don't want him retiring in an empty stadium. My heart's not ready for this. It really isn't. You know, he's probably my all-time favourite West Ham player. Yes, there's been better players I've seen, but he's the first player I've grown up with since I've understood football, which is debatable, but in my head, when I've understood football, you know, as a youngster you get your favourite players because they score goals or they do this or they do that and stuff, but Mark's the first one I've not been able to relate to, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. I've watched him for a long time in his career and still have a lot of affection for him. People older than me, Gonzo, people older than me won't have the same thing with Noble because they've seen better players play for not this length of time, but a various, 6-7 year stint at the club, whereas nowadays it's a lot less common, so people's, the next generation's favourite player will be someone that's played here for 2 or 3 years or something. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. My point is, if he retires, or he leaves to go to a lower league level for a couple of years before hanging up his boots and joining the backroom staff. If he retires though and leaves West Ham this summer, it's another player we need. Do we already need a centre midfielder? I think so, but if he stops playing, we need a other centre midfielder. He needs replaced. So already we're looking at 15 million to keep the squad the same, possibly having to replace someone that we're not getting a fee for, possibly 2 if Balbuena leaves. And then we know we need 2 strikers, and one of the strikers is a big striker. Let's just assume it's the Sevilla guy, around about 25-30 million pounds. Let's say it's around that price. I expect the striker to be over 20 million. So all of a sudden, we're spending nearly 40 million to keep the squad the same and add a striker. We possibly need another 2 midfielders and a other striker on top of that. And that's without even improving the team. Okay, we could recoup some costs with Lanzini. Felipe Anderson's not part of the squad, so we're adding an extra 10. We're bringing in a 10 million pound player that we could maybe sell for 10 million and stuff like that. We don't need him. He's not part of this season's squad. But all of a sudden, the costs of keeping the squad the same or simply improving one position, the striker, it's starting to add up. And it made me just wonder just how much do we need this summer? I don't really have an answer. But it's going to be a lot of money. And I don't think it's as simple as what the report suggested. Oh yeah, we'll just sell Lanzini and Anderson for £15 million each kind of thing. I mean, good luck with that. Can I see us selling those players? Yeah. Do I think we'll get 30 million for them? No. And this is where I just hope we've got our targets identified. We want to get them moving quickly, and we're going to need a couple of bargains. We're going to need a Soufal here and there in the summer, because 60 million, I think we all know if we've got 60 million to spend or not, and I think we all know the answer, and I think it's all quite similar. We won't have that much. And all of a sudden, 60 million, which sounds like a lot of money, it's not enough money though. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about really. Basically, how much do we need to spend in the summer? I don't know the answer. We'll find out where it goes. But Sunday, so David Moyes has spoken about rebuilding, and it's tied in with the transfer budget thing and the scouting thing that I did a video a couple of weeks ago about an article from 2013 about what David Moyes had at Everton about. Then he was doing an article today about how he wants to replicate that at West Ham, and in it, the one thing that interested me the most probably at the article, forget all how he identified players and that, there was 4 whiteboards, and on the 4th whiteboard was his current squad, and he had them sort of divided up into sort of groups as to who's key player, who's like he'll do for now but he needs phased out, and who I want rid of now kind of thing. He almost had these little groups so that he knew exactly what was going on in his team, and that intrigued me a lot because I always thought, what would a David Moyes 4th whiteboard at West Ham look like right now? So on Sunday, during the day, I don't know what time, during the day I'm going to put up my own one. And then Sunday night at 8 o'clock, okay? 8 o'clock on Sunday, I want you to come and join me on this channel. And we're going to get very interactive with the live chat. The live chat's going to pick what group each player goes into. So obviously Declan Rice straight away will go into the top group. But then there's a few curveballs. Alan Creswell. Ogbonna. And the reason they're curveballs, I'll explain it in the video as we go, and we'll have a discussion. So it's very, very interactive, and I want you to get involved on Sunday at 8 o'clock if you can. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. That's it for me today. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, check out my scout video I did last night. I say scout video. I interviewed a former West Ham United scout, Ged Searson. He worked under Sam Allardyce. I thought it was quite a good interview myself, if I do say so. It'll be at the end of this video. Check it out. Hopefully I'll see some of you on Sunday night at 8 o'clock on this channel for a little discussion. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Don't forget that bit. Subscribe.